Right. So now with that, we'll take few examples. So first example, find CTFT of. Okay, so find CTFT of which signal sine t divided by pi t, and this fellow is multiplied with sine 2t divided by pi t. Okay. Yes, how is this function looking at this signal? Let's call this to be some y of t, correct? So this is looking like y of t, and this is our x of t, and this is our h of t. So what should happen in frequency domain? We get y of j omega, which should be equal to 1 by 2 pi multiplied with x of j omega convolved with h of j omega. So yes, so but this should be equal to how much? So 1 by 2 pi multiplied with, you remember what is x of j omega here? X of t is looking like sine wt by pi t. So that follows Fourier transform. X of j omega would be a rectangular function from -1 to +1 with amplitude 1. That is our x of j omega, and this fellow is convolved with h of j omega. And what is h of j omega? That is Fourier transform of h of t. But what is h of t? It is sine 2t by pi t, which is also looking like sine wt by pi t. So that should, the corresponding Fourier transform is also a rectangle, but from where to where? From minus w to w with w replaced with 2. So this is our h of j omega. So what is that you have to do? You have to convolve these two rectangles of different weight. So if you remember our second chapter, what do we get? We get convolution of two rectangle functions of different width will result in a trapezoid. So let us write down how does that trapezoid look. So that trapezoid exists from where to where? -2 -1, which is -3. Okay. So it exists from -3 to -1 and then 1 to 3. Okay, so this would be our -3, this is -1, this is 1 and 3. What about the amplitude? 2 times a1 is 1, a2 is 1, which is amplitudes of rectangular functions, and minimum of t1 and t2. What is t1? Here it is 1, t2 is 2. So minimum of 1 and 2 is how much? 1. So 2 times 1, that should be equal to 2. Okay, so overall amplitude is 2, and that is again multiplied with 1 by 2 pi. So definitely what should be the final answer? Final answer I will draw here should be equal to again a trapezoid, but what will change? The amplitude of the trapezoid will change. So you will have a trapezoid of this form from -3, -1, 1 and 3 with amplitude 2 divided by 2 pi, which is 1 by pi. So this would be the Fourier transform of this signal, which is sine t by pi t multiplied with sine 2t by pi t. So that is a trapezoidal function. Okay, right, we'll take one more example similar to this. Okay, so example, so find CTFT of. Okay, so find CTFT of, let's say again y of t is equal to sine t divided by pi t whole square. Okay, so you want to find the Fourier transform of this signal. So we want y of j omega. Okay, yes. So if you look at this function, again this is looking like, we can write this function as what? Sine t by pi t, correct? So multiplied with sine t divided by pi t. So clearly how is this looking at? This is looking like what? This is our x of t and this is our h of t. So multiplication in time domain corresponds to convolution in frequency domain. So you get 1 by 2 pi multiplied with x of j omega convolved with h of j omega. Okay, so that should be equal to how much? So 1 by 2 pi. And what is x of j omega? That is Fourier transform of x of t, which is a rectangular function, correct? Sin t by pi t will have a rectangular function from -1 to +1, and this fellow is convolved with h of j omega. Again, we have the same signal h of t, and hence you will get another rectangle from -1 to +1. Okay, same rectangle, because signals are same, corresponding Fourier transforms also should be same. So clearly you know that if you convolve two rectangles of same width, so what should we get? We should get a triangle. So this should be equal to 1 by 2 pi, and this fellow is multiplied with a triangular function. But the triangle exists from where to where? That triangle exists from -2 to +2. You remember? -1 is -2, and 1 plus 1 is 2. What about the amplitude here? That should be 2 times A1, A2 into T. T is how much for us? 2. So finally, so this should be equal to how much? 2. So total final amplitude of the triangular function is 2, and that is multiplied with 1 by 2 pi, and hence what will happen? And hence you get final answer to be how much? You get, sorry, this is in omega domain. Okay, so finally you get a triangular function from -2 to +2 with amplitude 1 by pi. So this function sin t by pi t whole square will have a triangular function as Fourier transform from -2 to +2 with amplitude 1 by pi.